What's up everyone? Today, I'm ranking every major Jason Voorhees design from worst to best. This isn't a ranking of the movies or the versions of Jason in terms of power, this is purely based on appearance. I'm looking at the clothing, the hockey mask, the makeup, the overall presence, and how memorable each design is. Jason's look has changed a lot throughout the franchise, from a sack over his head to a zombie monster and even a futuristic cyborg. These are just my opinions, so let me know your ranking in the comments. Now let's get started. Coming in last is a Jason. I know a lot of fans think this design is awesome, but it's just not for me. The silver metal armor covering Jason's body makes him look more like a science fiction robot than the classic slasher we've known for decades. The futuristic hockey mask is definitely unique, and the glowing red eyes make him intimidating, but I feel like it loses what makes Jason so iconic. When I think of Jason Voorhees, I picture a dirty hockey mask, ripped work clothes, and someone who looks like they've been roaming the woods for years, not a cyborg. It's creative, but it doesn't feel like the Jason I grew up watching. At number 11 is Part to Jason. This version deserves respect, because it was the first time Jason became the killer. Without this movie, we wouldn't have the Jason we know today. The sack over his head is creepy and gives him a backwards serial killer look. It's simple but effective. The reason it's so low is because it's missing the hockey mask. The hockey mask is Jason's identity, and without it, this design just doesn't stand out as much compared to the later films. It's an important design historically, but not one of my favorites visually. Next is Jason Goes to Hell. This design definitely looks disgusting. Jason's face is bloated, his clothes are torn apart, and the mask is fused into his skin. The makeup effects are impressive, but I think they went a little too far. Instead of looking intimidating, Jason almost looks like a giant monster. It's memorable, but I prefer Jason looking more human than this. There are things I like about it, but overall it's one of my least favorite appearances. At number 9 is P.O. Iba Jason from Jason X before he becomes Iba Jason. This version is basically a worn-down zombie Jason. The design isn't bad at all. I actually like the chains, the dark clothing, and the damaged hockey mask. The problem is that it doesn't really introduce anything new. It mostly feels like another version of zombie Jason we've already seen before. It's solid, but nothing really makes it stand above the other designs. At number 8 is the 2009 reboot Jason. This version is one of the most realistic Jasons in the franchise. He's fast, intelligent, sets traps, uses tunnels throughout Camp Crystal Lake, and feels like an actual survivalist. The design reflects that perfectly with the jacket, cargo pants, and weathered hockey mask. It's a cool modern update, but I personally prefer the classic look from the original series. Coming in at number 7 is Roy Burns. Yes, Roy isn't actually Jason, but he copies Jason's appearance surprisingly well. His blue jumpsuit looks great, and the hockey mask is almost identical to Jason's. The only reason he isn't higher is because he's an imposter. Still, as a visual design, Roy looks fantastic and deserves more appreciation than he usually gets. At number 6 is Jason Takes Manhattan. This version of Jason has one of the darkest and meanest looks in the franchise. The black clothing makes him feel intimidating, and the damaged mask fits perfectly. His decayed face underneath is creepy, especially during the scenes where the mask comes off. Even though the movie itself is controversial, Jason's design is one of its strongest qualities. Breaking into the top 5 is the final chapter. This version takes the Part 3 design and makes it even more battle-damaged. The axe mark in the hockey mask immediately tells the audience that this is the same Jason who survived the events of Part 3. His clothes are dirtier, he's bloodier, and he feels much more brutal. This Jason looks like he's been through a war and is still hunting people without slowing down. It's an awesome evolution of the previous design. At number 4 is Freddy vs Jason. This Jason looks absolutely massive. Everything about him is designed to make him look unstoppable. The torn jacket, ripped clothes, rusted hockey mask, and huge build all work together perfectly. Kim Kersinger's size makes Jason look like an absolute tank, even though it's a crossover movie. This is one of the coolest looking versions of Jason ever put on screen. Taking the bronze medal is Jason Lives. This movie introduced zombie Jason, and they absolutely nailed the design. The utility belt, gloves, ripped clothing, and mask-covered hockey mask make Jason look like an undead killing machine. He looks powerful without looking over-designed. Everything about this appearance screams classic horror icon. It's one of the most recognizable versions of Jason ever created. Just missing the #1 spot is Part 7 Jason. This design is incredible. His exposed spine, visible ribs, torn clothing, broken mask, and rotting flesh tell the story of everything Jason has survived. The makeup effects are absolutely amazing. He truly looks like a corpse that's been sitting at the bottom of Crystal Lake for years. Many fans consider this the greatest zombie Jason design ever, and it's easy to understand why. It's horrifying, detailed, and unforgettable. Taking the top spot is Part 3 Jason. To me, this is the perfect Jason design. This was the first time Jason wore the hockey mask, creating one of the most iconic looks in horror history. The simple green work shirt, dark pants, and clean hockey mask create a realistic appearance that makes Jason even scarier. He's still human, which makes him feel believable, but he's also incredibly intimidating. Richard Brooker's performance helps bring this design to life with Jason's body language and movements. When most people picture Jason Voorhees, this is the version they think of. It's simple, iconic, timeless, and a design that changed horror forever. That's why Part 3 Jason will always be my favorite Jason design. So that's my ranking of every major Jason design. Do you agree with my ranking? Or would you change it? Let me know your list in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.